Welcome back to Unnovations. You join us for our Home Tech, High Tech Hour. Now, I don't know about you, Beverly, but I don't particularly class myself as a suspicious person. But sometimes it's natural for a person to have suspicions.
Like when you see a colleague talking to members of senior management and the conversation dries out when you enter the room.
I was thinking more of the domestic environment, Beverly.
Right, yes. As Ros was saying, suspicion isn't always a bad thing. We've all read and kept newspaper clippings about murders and crimes of that sort, and often these crimes are committed right under the noses of you and me. Remember, every killer is someone's neighbour, unless they live in a big detached property or on a boat, and it's up to us to make sure that they don't get away with it. Remember that man who killed his wife and kids and said that they'd moved away? His neighbours must have been suspicious, but didn't get round to telling anyone.
But, Beverly, if I suspect my neighbour of the wholesale slaughter of their family, how do I go about confirming or denying my suspicions? I can't exactly walk up and say, "Hi, neighbour, have you viciously butchered your wife and children?" If they haven't, then it could lead to a bit of ill feeling. And if they have, then they may kill me too, and no one would want that.
No. But now you can put your mind at rest because those clever people at Fadget have come up with this Sherlock Golden Robot. All you have to do is guide the robot to your neighbour's door using this remote control. Once there, it's entirely automated. It'll knock on the door, wait for the suspect, and then ask one of 10 pre-recorded questions. Let me demonstrate.
Did you murder your wife? Did you lose it in a drunken haze? Have you done bad things to your family?
The great thing is, if the suspect did kill, they will probably confess to a golden robot. If they didn't, they won't know that it's you that's asking. They'll just say no and shut the door on a golden robot.
It looks kind of strange, and that might unnerve a killer who's probably a bit mental anyway. It could look like God or an angel to them. It does a bit to me, actually.
If your neighbour is suspicious and says something like, "Did you send a golden robot over to see me and ask me if I murdered my wife and kids?" you can just say, "No, that's just ludicrous." And then if they wonder if they're going mad, you can say, "Well, come on then. Did you?"
And at just £259.94, it's a bargain. You could say it's a golden opportunity to uncover a murderer. I wonder if that's why they called it that.
It's because it's painted gold, I think, Ross.
Right, yes, of course it is. Let's see it in action in this promotional advertisement.
I thought I got away with it.
My neighbour sent him over.
I really didn't think I'd be caught. Not after all this time.
I don't know how he managed to get it out of me.
I couldn't do nothing else but confess.
It just all came spurting out.
I was just relieved to get it off my chest.
Now I'm doing 20 years.
Just incredible powers of deduction.
Hello, neighbour. Did you kill your wife and children on the night of the 8th of September?
Did he? Since 1986, Sherlock Golden Robot has helped in the detection of over 9 domestic incidents. Find out if your neighbour's a killer with Sherlock Golden Robot.
Now, I'd be a liar if I was to say some products weren't bigger than others. Some can fit in a drawer, others take up a whole building. But enough about me. Here's this week's Star Buy.
Until now, all scale representations of Scottish footballer Kenny Dalglish have been in meat or fish products, and therefore unsuitable for the vegetarian or the vegan person. But now that's no longer the case, with this model of the Scottish player made from bean curd. Tofu Dalglish, today's Unnovations Star Buy, just £23.12.
Welcome back to Home Tech High Tech. Now, what's your favourite film? Mine has to be Die Hard. Smashing performances and lots of action. Alan Rickman's great in it, isn't he? Shoot the glass. It's easy to believe he really is that evil, although I believe Gus on camera too met him once at a charity function, and apparently he's a genuinely nice man. Isn't he, Gus? Gus? Looks like Gus has got stage fright there. Anyway, there you go. But back to Die Hard. Wouldn't it be great if you could enjoy the action again and again in the comfort of your own home? Well, you can, of course. You could buy the video, but let's face it, VHS is just too fuzzy to sit through these days. It's like staring into a murky old fish tank, isn't it? Especially if you're watching a film about fish, or indeed one of those little plastic treasure chest things you get at the base of the tank. But what about DVD, you might say? Well, it's got a better picture, I'll grant you that, but there's still something missing. The images are sharp, but they're flat. Now, here's the latest revolution in home entertainment. It's 3D, it's crystal clear, and best of all, it's fully portable. It's the Cinemarm player. It's quite simply a high-tech platform that you attach to your arm, turning it into a limb of enchantment in seconds. Look at that. Just look at that. All the excitement, all the tension there in the Nakatomi Plaza. Look, there's Bruce Willis, there's the baddie, Otto or whatever he's called, and there's Alan Rickman. Shoot the glass, he's saying through his little beard. Actually, his beard isn't that big in the film, but they've increased the size here to make it better. Very clever. And just look at Bruce Willis. He's running and his feet are cut to ribbons. Ouch! Blood everywhere. There's even some dripping onto my sleeve. Now, you don't get that from a DVD. There are lots of films available in the Cinemarm format. For instance, here's Footloose. Let's look, you see, there's Kevin Bacon dancing past a tractor. And let's have a look what's next. Here's this one's Kes. Very sad ending, apparently, so get the hankies out for that one. Marvellous. This next one is Flatliners. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I haven't seen it before, but I'm sure it's very exciting. Also, if there's a slow bit in a film, you can easily make it more exciting by simply knocking everything over. Here's
a letter from 12-year-old Barry Beery from Bury, who writes, Dear Unnovations, my Uncle Jeff has never really recovered from an incident in the Bury area when he got a bump on the head and became convinced that he owed £5 old pounds to a large green bottle he'd seen in the window of a local chemist's. Since then, all he says is things like, that bloody green bottle's bleeding me dry, and what's £5 these days to a bloody green bottle? Please help. I don't think your Shopper of the Month award will help him, but it might do, and even if it doesn't, it might. Barry. How true. In return for revealing details of their miserable life, it's my honour to bestow on Jeff today's Shopper of the Month award, a delightful plinth. Plus, this Unnovations lucky locket with a picture of our own Ross Lampton at its very heart. Come on, Jeff. Pay the bottle back and get on with your life. You've got so much to live for.
Here at Unnovations, we often guarantee that our prices won't be beaten by anyone, with the exception of an electrical retailer buried deep in the heart of Ipswich. That's because we look at what others are charging, then knock a bit off, and make up the balance by failing to honour guarantees. In fact, we're so certain that our prices won't be beaten, except by the Ipswich vendor, that we promise to pay £1 sterling to anyone providing proof that a product they bought from us is available for less outside of Suffolk. And that's not all. We'll also provide you with a family day pass to Unnovations Land, described recently by a leading leisure magazine as an accessible theme park with 2 old rides and a burger bar. Unnovations Land is open for 2 full weekends every year and can be found just past the disused abattoir off the Bury Arterial Road. Unnovations, more than just a little, less than quite a lot.
When a man makes a mistake,
It was you who dropped it.
he must accept the consequences.
Delivery for Mr. Gabby Walker! Chicken chow mein and 2 crispy duck! But this is the last time!
It's all over.
Welcome back to Unnovations. Now, I can't remember it exactly, but I know that someone said that if you tried to read every book that had ever been written, it would take... well, basically, you'd never be able to do it. I've never managed to read every book on my shelf, and there's only 6.
And 2 of them are pop-up.
No, they're not. I've got 2 thrillers, 2 cookery, a ghost story, and the Highway Code. Anyway, science has shown that reading is tiring on your eyes. I suppose because you're using them not just to see, but also to think. God, I wasn't even looking at a word then, and it still felt tiring. Anyway, to stop your eyes getting tired, those brain boxes of Fadget have thought of this.
Wow, that's really compact, and the colour's really modern. How does it work?
Well, it's called book lung, because it actually reads aloud every other word on the page, saving your eyes from so much straining.
I wonder why they call it book lung when it's really good for your eyes.
I suppose because it actually speaks the words aloud, like a big lung.
Well, why not book mouth?
It's just £18.75, takes 9 batteries and works. I've got a selection of books beside me to demonstrate with. I'll just pop it on this one, Great Expectations. My
father's
family
name,
being
Pirip,
and
my
Christian
name,
Philip,
my
infant
tongue
could
make
or
both
names
nothing
longer
or
more
explicit
than
Pip,
so
I
called
myself
Pip
and
came
to
be
called
Pip.
I love the way that it really shouts every word. It really brings the stories to life.
And it's great if you're old and hard of hearing or in the next room.
I'd like to have a go at that, Natalie. I'd like to read, and he doesn't know that we're going to do this. It's a story Ross wrote for his Polytechnic magazine. It's called Well Done, Detective Jones. Would you mind holding it for me?
No, sure.
Detective
Jones
shone
his
torch
into
the
face
of
the
dead
none he
thought
she's
been
cracked
in
the
face
with
a
rock.
What a strange story by Ross. I wonder how he thought it all up. You can read the book with the book lung reading every other word, then read it again with you reading every other word. After 2 readings, you'll have only read the entire book once, but enjoyed it twice, unless it was a rubbish book.
Its bright yellow colour coordinates with 1 in 8 books.
And if you and your partner both buy a book lung and 2 copies of the same book, you can read different words and it'll sound like a radio play. If every child started using the book lung from the age of 5, by the time they reach 50, their eyesight will be more like that of a 46-year-old's.
Plus, they'll have the comfort of having shared every book they've ever read with a noisy friend.
So, as the manual says, order the book lung today. And
Replace
batteries
as
required. Oh, I read the wrong page.
OK, we've got Sue from Kent on the line. Sue, do you like the book lung?
I wanted to speak to Natalie, if that's OK.
Oh, OK, Sue, go ahead.
Natalie, I just wanted to say that I love watching you on the show.
Ah.
Because you remind me of a dead friend of mine.
Dead?
You really remind me of her. Not as she is now, which is dead, but before that, she looked just like you. Really lovely girl. Died in misery.
Right.
Things slipped away, couldn't cope with the pressures of life. She had a kiddie by the most unsuitable man, all oily neck. He left her, we all knew that would happen, and she got a little room all on her own. Not ideal at her age, on the sick and the sleepers and whatnot. She drifted away one night. I found her really in the most miserable state, wet with so many liquids.
Right.
But you really, really remind me of her. When I see you smile, I see her smiling. When I see you laughing, I can hear her laugh. It's like she's alive again. She's alive and she's trying to sell me some electrical goods.
Do you want to buy anything, Sue?
No, that's all.
Thanks, Sue. That's all the calls we have time for at the moment.
There now follows an announcement by the TPC. The Telly People Council is an essentially ineffective bunch of misguided moralists intent on having their say as to what's acceptable on the box. 5 of us regularly read the Daily Mail, 2 the Express, and 1, Josh, the Guardian. Each of these publications helps to cloud our judgment, which is why Marion has never read a single word in her life, or for that matter, watched a TV show. Regardless, it has come to our attention that Unnovations has recently breached broadcasting regulations, though for what we couldn't say. Maybe someone flashed a tit, kicked a dog, I don't know, lampooned the Sikhs. Whatever it was wrong. The TPC would also like to take this opportunity to apologise to the staff of Mama Galini's for the incident at Bruno's party. Gavin has been warned and made to throw away the trousers. This is the end of the verdict.
Hello, I'm Tony Scannell, and I'm here to tell you about my own Specialist Hour, coming up later tonight on Unnovations. So, what have I got in store for you today? Well, to be honest, I was going to offer you an exclusive range of wood-carved tiny dwarves, but the boy who makes them for me has been taken into care and is uncontactable. Apparently his father had a bit of a drink problem. So, instead, what better than to immerse myself in Dutch culture? In the hour I've now decided to call A Touch of Dutch. The Dutch are great, aren't they? So, join me later for A Touch of Dutch for all your tulip and Edam needs.
Now, if you've never believed a single word that I've said to you ever in the history of my time here at Unnovations, then believe this, because this time it's for real. No lies, no false smiles, no illegal subliminal messages, none of that shit. This product is the real deal.
Sounds great. So, come on, Beverly, what is it?
It's this, the holy head. See? Quite simply, you strap it to your head and turn the handle until the holy head cleverly bores 3 holes into your skull. It really couldn't be simpler.
Really?
Really, Ross. Would you like to demonstrate?
Is it safe?
Reasonably.
Jolly good. Here we go then. Snap on like that. Just,
And the amazing thing about the holy head is that after using it once, your head has literally thousands of new uses.
You could use it for massaging your own brain.
Practicing your bowling hold.
Make yourself dance.
Wetting stamps.
Rescuers could drag you from a wreck more easily.
Scratch your brain if it's itchy.
It teaches your kids about the importance of a full skull.
Partly suntan your brain.
It comes in handy at an orgy.
Get friends to check for abnormalities.
Jam in a metal rod and become a human lightning conductor.
On November the 5th, you can launch fireworks from inside your head.
Or blow Lucozade out of your nose.
And that's not all. After using the holy head, you can of course get 3 circles of skull for free, which again have literally thousands of uses of their own. Put them in a biscuit tin as joke digestives.
Use them as fake money to give to tramps.
You can skim them across the pond.
Use them to plug up the holes in your head.
Mini frisbees.
Or spare buttons for your duffel coat.
Nipple armour.
You could strap 2 to your fingers and make skull castanets.
Ram them down naughty dogs' ear holes as punishment. The holy head is a genius. There's no other word for it. Genius. Don't you agree, Ross?
Oh, I'm starting to feel a bit dizzy.
Genius. And if you like this, you're going to love these.
I like buckets and slippers.
Holy Head is just one of the great products in our body modification range. So if you like that, why not try the others? Like the Nose Whittling Fun Kit. A tiny whittling scalpel that'll help you turn your nose into something more interesting. Like a small apple. Or Arm Away, the automated machine that removes your arms, then puts them where you can't reach them, which is more or less anywhere. Or Horseyfoot Ho-Ho. It turns your feet into a pair of tiny horses. You'll be able to gallop at speeds of up to 18 miles per hour, but you will shit out of your heels, so do watch the carpet.
And that's all from Ross Lampton and me, Beverly Newbond, today. But join us tomorrow and for every day in the foreseeable future here on Unnovations.
Yes, and welcome to Unnovations. And have we got a packed hour for you today? Tell them what's coming up, Beverly.
Ross, we've finished.
Shut up, Stuart.
Ross, it's me, Beverly.
Oh, hello, Beverly. Where's Stuart?
There's no one here called Stuart.
Oh, okay.
It's time to say goodbye now.
So soon? Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.